Welcome back, everyone. Leonard Archibald with us today, our movie critic. He saw Spider-Man No Way Home. Love this movie. I guess there's a lot going on, and we're going to avoid spoilers, as you said. But I think basically the shenanigans begin after Peter Parker goes to Doctor Strange, says, hey, I don't want anybody knowing that I'm Spider-Man. It's causing all kind of chaos. He does a spell which goes awry, and that's kind of where everything goes south from there, right?
Sure. So this takes immediately after the events of Far From Home, which ended with Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio basically outing Peter Parker as Spider-Man, and basically Peter Parker's world turns into chaos. Peter Parker, obviously played by Tom Holland, and P goes to Doctor Strange, to cast a spell to make the world forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, because it is ruining other people's lives, MJ's lives, and other people that he cares about. But one of the good things that I actually do like or appreciate about this trilogy is, Tom Holland's Peter Parker is a teenager. So he does teenager things and screws up a lot, which is kind of par for the course for that iteration of Spider-Man. So Doctor Strange does this spell, and Peter Parker screws everything up, and it kind of cracks open a little bit of the multiverse, and we see some Spider-Man villains, and there's a whole thing about what to do with these villains, and I actually really appreciated what Sony and Marvel did in terms of how to deal with that situation. It's a little bit more mature than I think most people might have expected the studios to go.
Yeah, you make a very good point, because there were so many villains they had to bring back, and Doc Ock was amazing, and as you said, and then Electro they brought back, and I felt like they kind of cleaned him up too, and it even kind of made fun of the character a little bit, and he basically kind of said, yeah, I wasn't the greatest villain.
Yeah, this is a pretty meta movie. The Marvel is kind of aware of some of the, and Sony too, I think is kind of aware of some of the decisions they've made over the course of the other 5 Spider-Man movie, the Sam Raimi trilogy, and the 2 Mark Webb movies that have Andrew Garfield. And so I think they poked fun at a few of those things, and but yeah, they definitely cleaned up a lot of these villains. The standout obviously being Willem Dafoe, even though I don't know if you can call Willem Dafoe much of a standout, because he's just one of the best actors on the planet regardless. But he brings something to the role of Green Goblin, and that is just really unique compared to what he's done in previous movies, and Alfred Molina is great, obviously, as Doc Ock, and everyone really brought their A game to this movie, and that is something that I think is going to satisfy a lot of fans. It's not just a lot of fan service that's being brought to this movie. There's a lot of the story beats are kind of given and are needed to propel the story forward, but it's still a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm so glad you said that, because there is a lot of fan service, which I was glad, but it doesn't hurt the plot. They really have a tough job of combining that and moving that story ahead.
It is always hard for any film studio to kind of bank off nostalgia and do it right. The Ghostbusters movie that came out earlier, was fairly successful at that. But this, the filmmakers were really keen and really aware of, what elements to kind of from past movies to kind of keep, and what elements don't need to be there. You kind of tell that Kevin Feige probably had to sit down with Sony and was like, yeah, we're not doing this or this, and we're not having this character or this character in our movies, but at the same time, again, it's all in service of the story, and the story really is, this is Peter Parker growing up. This is a dark movie. I'm not even going to lie, and that's not even that much of a spoiler for those who have seen the trailers. Peter Parker goes through a lot of tribulations in this film, and it's the movie that turns him from Spider Boy into Spider Man, and it's definitely the catalyst, I think, for a lot of exciting properties down the future.
Yeah, well said. How many Lennies do you give this?
Yeah, this is 5 Lennies. This is a cultural phenomenon. It's the second biggest opening of all time, but it's a tremendous story, and it's one of Marvel's best stories that they've told, and of the the Homecoming trilogy with Tom Holland, this is definitely the best. And again, this is the one that you can definitely tell that everyone brought their A game and everyone was super passionate about doing.
Yeah, it's a must see. Thank you so much, Len. Great job. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You bet. Nice talking with you. We'll be back right after this.